Hello there, Steve and Rich here.
Hello guys.
I bet you didn't suspect that. Today we've got you something very special. We've got a review of the Star Trek game.
Yes.
That's right, because as you may not know, me and David are massive Trek fans. Trekkies, Trekners.
Yeah, massive freaking.
Yeah, he's more into Voyager, I'm more into TNG, but we both love the two.
We both agree
all
that
of
Star Trek is
and
brilliant.
we've been very excited. We pre-ordered the game, so and we got early access to the game, which was very exciting.
Very nice.
But they seem to not have the online sort of
Stuff
ready and working yet, which I hope doesn't happen on release for their sake and for ours, frankly.
For their freaking sake, because they're gonna get it.
Yeah, we had a lot of trouble, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from So I'll just talk about a bit of what we experienced so far. I mean, from what we've seen so far, the graphics are pretty good. Like, we really like them.
Actually, pretty good.
Yeah,
there
we were
are
surprised.
a few places though.
Yeah. I mean, the player models were a bit
No, some of the player models are pretty good.
Yeah.
But some of them, like, I don't know, Sulu or Uhura, they don't even really look like the characters.
Yeah, no.
They look kind of fakeish.
But also in the cutscenes and stuff, the lips don't go with the voices.
I mean, it's not like they kind of don't go a little bit. They just not at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, but it's a very good looking game. Most of the textures look pretty good. I had it on high quality textures. Don't know about you, but most of them look pretty good. But some of them definitely needed to be a bit better.
Yeah, there's a little bit in the first bit of the game where there's an electrical thing that destroys this kind of bridge, and the electricity looks a bit
Yeah, the gameplay was quite good. I mean, the gunfire at the start was a bit interesting, but it's quite similar to Mass Effect, I believe.
Very similar, actually.
Yeah, and it's quite fun. You know, we didn't get to play that much at the very start. You mean it's quite cool, everything sort of going on. I do believe that the sort of the animations for the players weren't that great.
Yeah, I mean, you jump and you kind of go like a centimetre off the ground.
Yeah, and it just looks a bit dodgy. And also the sprint doesn't always work for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
I know, it didn't work for me at all.
Yeah. Some of the really cool things, the tricorder, we were just like, as soon as we saw that, we were just like, whoa, because we were hacking into stuff and getting our tricorders out.
It is Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, as soon as I got mine out, I was like commanding Spock where to go.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. There's some random mini games.
Yeah. Very random.
So some quick time events, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It went into first person when you crawled for a vent.
Yeah, it was literally an FPS for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. It may have just been a glitch where we were invisible or something.
Speaking of FPS, there are a couple different game modes in the game, which adds quite a lot of variety. It isn't like...
Speaking of FPS.
Huh?
Don't worry.
Yeah, it adds like a lot of variety, which I kind of like. I mean, you get the space battles and stuff. They look quite cool. I mean, I'm not so sure about them being like...
I'm excited.
Yeah, they look a bit weird, but
it'd be
still,
cool if you control it from like the bridge or something like.
No. You see it from like the top of the ship.
Yeah, I know.
Top of the ship. I mean, I'll have you know, I saw quite a bit of the gameplay and stuff being at the start.
Oh, yeah. Don't show off.
Got a picture of Kate Mulgrew signed by her. Yeah, whatever. Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, so from what I saw there and stuff, some other game modes include like flying in these squirrel suit things on the Gorn planet, which looks pretty damn epic, I think.
Yeah, I hope we're going to see some good Kirk action with his dual fists just smacking away.
Some epic Kirk action.
With like some random rocket launcher made out of coconuts and crap.
No, but yeah, it looks good. You also get to fly through space with this little thing.
Yeah,
which it's probably going to be really fun to control, but the animation for the legs, oh my gosh, something did not go right.
Okay, so here's my honest review. You can do yours for the game.
Rate it in like graphics.
Yeah, I will. If you're a Star Trek fan, you're gonna love it. Like, because most likely because you're a Star Trek fan.
No.
But if you're not, you're either gonna like it or you're not. They definitely need to clean things up. Hopefully in further patches they can do stuff like that. Some of the things are very cool, and I can't wait to play more of the game. So that's my review.
Okay. They could improve the graphics, I think. If you're a Star Trek fan,
some parts of the graphics, I think.
Okay, let me just say, if you are a film, what? No, if you are a fan of the film, the Star Trek movie 2009 J.J. Abrams, you are not a Star Trek fan.
Yeah. If you
no. Okay, so if you're a fan of that film, you are really gonna like the game. If you're a fan of third-person shooters like Mass Effect, you are really going to like the game. If you are an actual Star Trek fan, like liking all the series and stuff, it's not Star Trek. It's not.
Well, it's not Star Trek, but it's still going to be really...
Yeah, but you'll still kind of like it, I think.
Yeah, you'll still like it because of the whole tricorders and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain elements that bring back good memories.
The game will be more like Star Trek than the movie.
Pardon?
I think the game will be more like Star Trek than the movie.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I think it's good. I do think it's good.
The thing I feel about it is it's also the way they sort of deal with everything. Like
deal with it.
Yeah, in like TNG and Voyager, there was like, okay, really formally would like send down an away team and stuff. The captain's really commanding. In this, it's all just a bit fast paced.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek isn't meant to be like a freaking James Bond getting down and shooting everyone. Boom! It's like we'll beam over an away team to negotiate, and then they like go down and they talk, and then a little bit of phaser fire. They beam back onto the ship and they get out of there.
Literally, I could say this. Before I was a Star Trek fan, I watched the movie and I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. Nothing too great.
Then I said,
and me and David were talking, and he was all like, what did you say?
I said that the movie isn't Star Trek.
And I was like, nah, man, you're just talking a load of crap. What is this? And he was just like, no. And then when I started watching Star Trek, I completely understood what he said.
Yeah.
Like
so the game is kind of like that. It isn't really Star Trek, but yeah, if you are a gamer.
So if you're a gamer, you're probably gonna like it or not. But if you're a Star Trek fan of the series, then you're gonna like it, but you're still not gonna feel like Star Trek.
Yeah. You like it, but not in a kind of Star Trek way.
Yeah. Okay. So that's our review of the Star Trek.
Anyway, what would you give it out of 10, Richard?
Well, I can't really judge too much on what we've seen already, but like 7, 8.
I would say 8.69 is a generous.
Oh dear.
Generous.
Okay,
no, I mean,
thanks for...
if they improved the graphics and the animation, and I think that would be it, because the game isn't trying to be like the Star Trek series, so that is pretty much all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. So that's been our first. This is probably the first you'll ever see.
8 out of 10.
With Star Trek, the game.
Yeah.
And David.
What?
Engage.